Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Schlechter.
Here.
Mr. Lavana.
Here.
Mr. Mercer.
Here.
Thank you. Do we have has everybody had a chance to read the minutes? Is there a motion to approve this?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay. Mr. Mercer.
Yes.
Mr. Lavana.
Yes.
Mr. Schlechter.
Yes.
Mr. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Levine.
Yes.
Moving on to old business, we will take a quick deliberative session to discuss this. Okay. 5:01. It's 5:09. We're back from deliberative session. Do I have a motion on the old business?
Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to approve the findings of fact and conclusions of law. Apologies to everyone in the audience, I'm going to read a very lengthy document here. The applicant has applied for a conditional use for two parcels located at 4828 and 4752 Whiteford Road, Sylvania Township, Ohio. The properties are zoned A4 residential. The applicant is seeking a conditional use for a residential care facility comprised of an 18-unit memory care building located in the front of the facility, a 41-unit assisted living building, and a 94-unit congregate care building, both in the center of the facility, and 8 independent living villas to be located at the rear of the property. An additional building utilized for dining and recreational activities will be located approximately in the center of the project. On February 3rd, 2020, a hearing was held pursuant to sections 2401 and 2505 of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution. The hearing was continued and reconvened on March 10th, 2020 pursuant to Sylvania Township zoning resolution 2401B. This decision is issued in accordance with Sylvania Township zoning resolutions 2402. Evidentiary standard. A conditional use hearing is an adjudicatory hearing. An adjudicatory hearing determines the rights of specific persons based upon direct evidence presented. Although open to the public, it is not a public hearing where members of the general public may speak. This board's decision must be based on the preponderance of substantial, reliable, and probative evidence present in the record. The applicant is responsible for submitting sufficient evidence before the board to enable it to grant the application. Evidence submitted outside of the application process in hearing cannot be considered. Reliable evidence has been defined as dependable, that is, it can be confidently trusted. In order to be reliable, there must be reasonable probability that the evidence is true. Probative evidence is evidence that tends to prove the issues in question. It must be relevant in determining the issue. Substantial evidence is evidence with some weight. It must have importance and value. Testimony must be by affidavit, deposition, or oral examination. In order to have any evidentiary value, the witness's testimony must be under oath. Unsworn testimony cannot provide the preponderance of substantial, reliable, and probative evidence necessary to support a decision by this board. The hearsay rule is relaxed in administrative proceedings before this board, and the admission and consideration of hearsay evidence is not necessarily improper. However, this board may not arbitrarily consider hearsay evidence. This board may consider hearsay evidence only when no party has objected to the hearsay, both sides took advantage of the liberalized evidentiary rulings regarding hearsay, the hearsay carried an indicia of reliability, and whether the evidence concerns collateral matters or matters central to the outcome. Furthermore, witnesses must testify about relevant facts and not their subjective and unsubstantiated opinions. Unsubstantiated opinions do not rise to the level of reliable, probative, and substantial evidence. Finding of facts. The subject property consists of 10.016 acres located at 4752 and 4828 Whiteford Road. The applicant is proposing to construct a 2-story residential care facility designed around various levels of senior-based care. The project proposes 8 independent living units for individuals who may need a maintenance-free lifestyle with home-based conveniences. The independent living portion of the site will be located at the rear, and each unit will have an attached garage. 2, the assisted living and congregate care portion of the site is proposed within the middle of the site. The applicant has stated that 94 congregate care units and 41 assisted living units are proposed as part of the development. The middle portion of the site containing the assisted living and congregate care also contains the activities building. This proposed building will contain a swimming pool, dining area, and activity center. The memory care building is proposed with 18 units with an additional common spaces including a dining area, living, sitting room, and centralized courtyard. An additional proposed outdoor amenities include various patio and sitting areas, shuffleboard and pickleball courts, and a putting green. The site is accessed from 2 points of ingress/egress. One to Whiteford Rd, directly opposite Saddle Creek Road, and another on Summerfield Road, yet to be determined. Public water is available to this site, and water main taps and services will be installed at the time of construction. Sanitary sewer is available at the site and shall be provided to all units within the development. The proposed development will use the same trash service as a nearby school. The site is zoned A4 residential. The purpose of the A4 residential district is to provide areas for low-density residential development. Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution 600. The areas north and east are also zoned A4 rural residential. The area west of the proposed project is zoned RA suburban residential. The purpose of this zoning classification is to provide areas for relatively low-density residential development which have public water and sanitary sewer facilities. Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution 700. The area to the south of the proposed project is zoned A4 rural residential and S1 special. The purpose of S1 special district is to provide areas which are public or semi-public holdings for government use, recreation, and conservation purposes. Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution 400. Whiteford Elementary School is located to the south of the proposed project. The 2018 Township Land Use Plan places the proposed project in the Corey Whiteford area. Sylvania Township Land Use Plan, page 36. The Corey Whiteford area is an established area built out single-family residential area in the eastern portion of the township. The area includes Sylvania Country Club, Camp Viaconda, Whiteford Metro Park, Stranahan Auditorium, and Monroe Street commercial frontage and development. Consideration was given to changing the future land use designation for residential parcels along Whiteford Road to potentially allow more intense land use. However, the 2018 Township Land Use Plan retained the low-medium density residential designation for this area. Whiteford Road is a heavily traveled road with significant volume of traffic. Because of the nature of the residents at the proposed facility, most will be driving infrequently or not at all. The project will create from 60 to 80 jobs. The proposed development will coordinate shift changes with the school. The traffic study established that the proposed development will have a minimal impact on existing traffic at roughly less than 2% increase. In order to mitigate potential traffic concerns with vehicle approaches on Whiteford Road, the applicant will be responsible for installation of left turn lanes for both northbound and southbound traffic near the entrance to the facility. The service road is within 30 feet of at least one residence. The service road will be used by employees, visitors, residents, and deliveries. Section 4, conclusions of law. The applicant is seeking a conditional use to construct and operate a residential care facility in an area zoned A4 rural residential. A residential care facility is defined as an assisted living facility, nursing home, rest home, adult daycare, group home, or any other similar institution per the Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution definitions. A residential care facility is a conditional use in A4 rural residential zoned area. The purpose of the Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution, along with the 2018 Township Land Use Plan, is for the protection and promotion of public health, safety, morals, comfort, conserving and protecting property, and facilitating adequate but economic provisions of public improvements. Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution, Section 101. Interpreting and applying the provisions of the Township Zoning Resolution shall be held to the minimum requirements for promotion of the public safety, and health. Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution, Section 102. Under certain unusual circumstances, a use of property which typically affects an area more intensely than those permitted in the zoning district in which it's located may nonetheless be desirable and compatible with permitted uses. That use is properly controlled and regulated. Such uses are listed as conditional uses within the respective zoning districts. Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution, Section 2500. This board may grant a conditional use application for use of land, building, or other structures, and may allow such use to be established where approval will be consistent with the general purpose and intent of the Township Zoning Resolution, as well as the general purpose and intent of the Sylvania Township Land Use Plan. Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution 2500. This board may not approve a conditional use unless each specific case it makes specific findings of fact directly based on the particular evidence presented to it that support conclusions that such use at the proposed location will meet all of the requirements specified in Section 2503, subsections A through E of the Township Zoning Resolution. The proposed project will be consistent with the general objectives or with any specific objective or purpose of the Township Zoning Resolution. The proposed development will be harmonious with the existing or intended character of the general vicinity, and that such use will not change the essential character of the same area. The proposed project will be served adequately by essential public facilities and services such as highways, streets, police, and fire protection, adequate draining, refuse disposal, water and sewer, and schools. The proposed development will not involve uses, activities, processes, materials, equipment, and conditions of operation that will be significantly detrimental to any person's property or the general welfare by any reason of excessive production of traffic, noise, smoke, fumes, glare, or odor. The proposed development will have vehicular approaches to the property that shall be so designed as not to create interference with existing traffic on surrounding public streets or roads. Decision. Based on the preponderance of substantial, reliable, and probative evidence present in the record, this board makes the following findings. The general objective of the A4 rural residential and RA suburban residential zoning classifications is to provide areas of low-density residential development. Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution 600 and 700. The proposed development is not consistent with this general objective. Therefore, the Section 2503A of the Township Zoning Resolution has not been established. B. The 2018 Township Land Use Plan places the proposed project in the Whiteford area. Sylvania Township Land Use Plan, page 36. The Whiteford area is an established area built out, a single-family residential area in the eastern portion of the township. The area includes Sylvania Country Club, Camp Yaconda, Wildwood Metro Park, Tranahan Auditorium, and some Monroe Street commercial frontage and development. Consideration was given to changing the future land use designation for the residential parcels along Whiteford Road to potentially allow more intense land use. However, the 2018 Township Land Use Plan retained the low, medium density residential designation for this area. In the immediate area of the proposed project, the existing use is low-density residential areas and public school. The proposed project is not harmonious with the existing and intended character of the general vicinity and will change the essential character of the area. Therefore, the sections 2500 and 2503B of the Township Zoning Resolution has not been established. The proposed development will be served by public water and sanitary sewers. It will also be served by the Township police and fire departments, and while Whiteford Road has a significant volume of vehicular traffic, the only credible evidence submitted to the board establishes that the proposed project will have a minimal impact on existing traffic. Thus, the proposed development will be served adequately by the essential public facilities and services, and therefore Section 2503C of the Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution has been established. The service road is within 30 feet of at least one residence. This service road will be used by employees, visitors, residents, and deliveries. The proposed project will involve uses and conditions of operation that will be significantly detrimental to nearby persons and properties, or the general welfare by reason of excessive production of traffic and noise. Therefore, Section 2503D of the Sylvania Township Zoning Resolution has not been established. In order to mitigate potential traffic concerns with vehicular approaches on Whiteford Road, the applicant will be responsible for the installation of left turn lanes for both northbound and southbound traffic near the entrance to the facility. Thus, the proposed development will have vehicular approaches to the property that shall be so designated as not to create interference with existing traffic on surrounding public streets or roads. Therefore, Section 2503E of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution has been established. Conclusion. This board is prohibited from granting a conditional use unless Section 2500 and all factors specified in Section 2503 have been established. The preponderance of substantial, reliable, and probative evidence present in the record fails to establish all of these requirements. Therefore, this board is required to, and hereby does, deny the application for conditional use.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. Chairman, in the second paragraph, it states March 10th, 2020 as the meeting date, and I believe it's the 9th. So if we could
That's correct.
make that change in the record.
Hello?
Mr. Levine?
Yes.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Schlechter?
Yes.
Mr. Romano?
Yes.
Mr. Mercer?
Yes. So to be clear, the original motion was denied by the conclusion that we just put together. If you would like, you can, we're going to go on to other matters, but I'll reserve a minute here if you guys want to vacate, otherwise you're more than happy to stay for the rest of the meeting.
Copies of the...
You're going to mail them?
John, do we have a copy we can give to them?
Well, we're still in session. Okay.
Did she make the change for the date before she gives it?
Mr. Luana? Nice job.
Thank you. You did well.
It's not easy.
Thanks for the water.
We'll move on here in a second. We're just waiting for Mr. Gross.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you.
John?
All right, you okay, Darren? Moving on to new business. Before we do that, can we swear in, if you're going to provide any kind of testimony today for or against, could you please stand and raise your right hand?
No.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, moving on to new business, a conditional use for a daycare facility within the R3 district for the property located at 2917 McCord Road, parcel number 78-40671, according to Sylvania Township zoning resolution section 1002. Darrell, if we can have the report.
Yes. The subject property consists of a legal non-conforming single-family dwelling constructed in 1955, 1 year prior to the enactment of zoning in Sylvania Township in December 1956. The parcel measures approximately .8 acres in area and fronts onto McCord Road. Residential uses abut the property to the southeast, south, and west. Commercial office uses abut it to the north and northeast. In November 2012, the Sylvania Township Board of Zoning Appeals approved a conditional use request for a child daycare facility on the subject property. This request was the applicant's third endeavor at gaining approval for that use. However, the 2012 conditional use was never acted upon by the applicant, and per the Sylvania Township zoning resolution, said permit shall automatically expire if such conditionally permitted use has not been instituted or utilized within 2 years of the date on which the permit was issued, or if for any reason such use shall cease for more than 2 years. Therefore, the applicant for the original approved conditional use is now requesting a new conditional use be granted to operate a daycare facility on the site. The existing single-story dwelling currently measures 1,476 square feet. The applicant intends to build an approximate 600 square foot addition onto the northeast corner of the house to provide a secure entrance to the daycare facility. Approval of this conditional use will encompass approval of the building addition. Any future expansion or major renovation to the dwelling or site will require an amendment to the conditional use. The legal non-conforming status of the dwelling would dictate that BZA approval would be required for any addition/alteration irrespective of the conditional use. The site plan indicates a total of 5,150 square feet of outdoor play area split between 2 fenced-in areas. The state of Ohio requires 60 square feet of outdoor space per child. Based on the number of children represented on the site plan of 30, the proposed plan exceeds the state's requirement. The state also requires 35 feet of indoor space per child. The proposed plan does not address this requirement. The aforementioned outdoor play areas are shown on the site plan to be fenced in by a 3-foot-high chain link fence. A picket fence is proposed along the entire front of the parcel. The proposed height is not indicated on the site plan, but section 2211 of the zoning resolution dictates maximum heights of 4 feet for open fencing within a front setback and 3 feet for solid fencing or wall. A 6-foot-high privacy fence is shown along the abutting southern boundary. Additionally, the Lucas County Plan Commission accepted that body staff recommendation for a solid fence along the rear west property line. Zoning staff concurs with this recommendation and advocates that that fence be 6 feet in height. Currently, the property has a looped stone driveway with two access points onto McCord Road. The proposed site plan shows this to be converted to one access drive with an interior loop. Per section 2903 of the zoning resolution, all drives and parking areas shall be paved with either asphalt or concrete. Section 2914 of the zoning resolution dictates that the parking requirement for a child daycare facility shall be 2 spaces for 5 children plus 1 per employee at maximum shift. The proposed site plan indicates 30 children and 5 employees. This would require 17 parking spaces, which is what is indicated on the site plan. February 26, 2020, the Lucas County Plan Commission unanimously recommended approval to the BZA of the conditional use request for a child daycare facility, subject to the 15 conditions outlined in the Lucas County Plan Commission staff report. The applicant acknowledged comprehension of and agreement to those conditions. Should the conditional use request be approved, zoning permit shall be required for any building additions, renovations, fencing, and signage. Staff recommends approval with conditions of the conditional use request for a child daycare facility for the property located at 2917 McCord Road for the following 3 reasons. 1, the request is consistent with the intent of the zoning resolution. 2, the request is compatible with surrounding zoning and uses. 3, the requested use should not present a negative impact upon the public good or neighboring properties or impair the visibility or safety of the traveling public. Staff further recommends that the BZA approve the conditional use request subject to the following 4 conditions. All drives and parking areas shall be paved with concrete or asphalt per section 2903 of the zoning resolution. Any future expansions or major alterations to the building or site shall require an amendment to the conditional use and be approved by the BZA. The applicant shall install a 6-foot tall privacy fence along the rear boundary abutting the residential use. And the applicant shall install any screening and/or landscaping the BZA dictates to protect the abutting properties from any negative effects of the use and to enhance the aesthetics of the facility. Staff further recommends approval of the conditional use for the daycare center at 2917 McCord Rd, subject to the 15 conditions outlined in the Lucas County Plan Commission report, February 26, 2020.
Are there any questions for Daryl?
Hey Darryl, the only question I had, you mentioned 30 children and 5 staff, is that right? Is that the max for the facility in terms of, or is that just the number of kids that can it fit 35 kids? Because I'm thinking about parking, you said that they just need 17.
Well, 17 spaces would be required for
To 35, right? Or are they over the amount you need, or are they like at the amount?
Looks like there's 20 proposed students.
20, not 30? Just want to double check the 30.
We just received a revised site plan this morning, so.
Okay.
Oh,
That's what you have in front of you.
Yeah, okay.
Small?
yeah, so, dimensions 20 proposed.
So,
It does say down here, though.
Yeah, down here it
17
says,
is required.
It says 20.
Right.
So that could be a,
20, 12 for students, 5 for employees, essentially.
Yeah, I see it, look in here. So, should we just, is the applicant here? We just wait that, okay.
Yep.
We can table that then for we'll just ask the applicant. Because I see it's noted here, 20 equals 12 spots, 5 employees, 5, so that's 17. But when you were going over your staff report, I could have sworn you said 30. Just wanted to tie off those
That is
numbers.
based on the previous site plan.
they're still too short.
I did say 30, that's what's in the staff report. I believe that was based on the previous site plan.
Okay, fair enough. That's all for me, Mr. Chairman.
Anyone else? Is the applicant here? Would you like to, bring your testimony, to, answer any questions? Would you like to say anything?
Do you have any questions?
Well, I know we have one.
I have one.
If you could just state your name and your address and sign in.
My name is Rebecca Landrum. My address is 2917 McCord Road, Toledo, Ohio, 43615.
If you can sign in as well.
So you heard my question previously, I'll just repeat it though for the record. The revised site plan, we're looking at list 20 proposed students and 5 employees. Daryl had said earlier 30. Is 20 sort of your max number of
No,
students?
that's an estimate. It's
Right here.
as close as I can get. I can go to 30.
Thank you. Okay.
Well, because I guess it's.
Because I know the first,
You only have 17 spots proposed, so if you get 2 more students, you're gonna need another parking space, or 5 more students, you're gonna need 2 more parking spaces. So just trying to think about growth, and you probably have to come back and see us.
right, I will. I'm sure I will. My child care is not a regular child care. It is a child care for families who are going through diseases and illnesses, single parents. When I moved back from Germany, I subbed at Springfield Schools, and the computer teacher had 2 small children and a baby, and she found out she was dying, and she was in her 20s. And she had to find people but in that meantime, she needed someone to take care of those children while she was going through all this. So that's the kind of child care I want to do.
No,
So that there's not going to be a lot of parking all the time there.
No, I certainly appreciate that, and that's, very mission-driven, and I'm in the healthcare space, I appreciate that. Just from a pure zoning requirements and what we're talking about today, we just want to make sure that we get an accurate count of the number of people that are going to be there. Even to your point, maybe they're not going to be there all the time, but according to the rules, you need X number of parking spots. So I just want to make sure that if you say 20 students and 5 employees, that you've got the 17 spots. As soon as you get 22 students, you're going to need another parking spot, and you're not accounting for
So
that.
make it for 30 then, so that
So you
it's
need to get more
giving me
parking
extra.
spots. Yeah, then you need to build more parking spots, yeah. So what should you,
She'll not be able to use 30 here though, right, without reapplying, or?
yeah, what,
Or, well,
he said 30.
Yeah, actually, you said 30. so-
Yeah.
right. I mean, looks like there's room on the site plan for, I'd say at least 3 more spaces.
Would you be opposed to that as a condition that you build 20 spaces instead of 17?
That's fine.
That's true.
We can do it as a condition, okay. That's all from me, Mr. Chairman. Oh, actually, one other, since we were talking about Al. The 6-foot privacy fence here, do you have any, I see my colleagues chuckling. Do you have any issues with it being vinyl, a vinyl fence?
No, I have vinyl on the side of the building right now. Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
Okay.
I think it's ridiculous, though, and there's an issue with that. I don't know if anybody noted that, and I didn't see it noted anywhere, but the Carytown properties have, in the backyard, I don't know what they are, some kind of electrical, little stumpy things back there, so the fence would go on my side of those. So I don't know how they're going to get access to that, not through my land, but they've got a 6-foot fence up, so I don't know how they get through from the other side either. I don't know.
The utility easement is on the Carytown property, not on
Okay,
the
right.
applicant's property. So it's
Right now, they go through my
the
property.
utility at Carytown to work out how the utility gets
Surface.
their easement.
Yeah.
Okay.
It shouldn't affect the applicant in any way.
Darrell, what's the setback to allow for parking? I'm looking at a number of setback lines here. See where it says proposed picket fence?
Which side are you looking at?
Right here.
Towards McCord.
Yeah, towards McCord, so I'm just trying to see how,
It should be, I believe, 15 feet from the right-of-way.
And it says, in the document that I was reading, it also says that I have a septic system. I do not. I have a sewer system. It's hooked into the sewer.
We get that information off of Aries, the auditor's website.
So I should go on and update that or something?
Contact.
So that's the comment from the county health
Areas.
department.
The auditor, it's through the auditor, Lucas County Auditor's Office.
Okay.
And the front parking setback is 15 feet.
15 feet?
Right.
So-
The requirement is 15 feet.
so she had plenty of room on the north side of this drive if she wanted to continue.
Right.
If we had to create more parking.
Right. Then the side yard setback there would be what?
That's 5 feet,
All right, well, then she's fine.
side and rear.
Okay. That was my only concern.
What were you saying with that?
The septic system is referenced in the condition, one of the 2 conditions from the Lucas County Health Department.
It's not, we don't have a septic system.
Have you had a chance to review the 15 conditions that the planning?
I did.
Okay, and are you agreeable with those conditions?
I think-
Other than, obviously, you're concerned about the septic issue.
Right,
Okay.
yeah. And if I want to expand, I have to come back and do it again. Because I'm thinking about taking out the garage and extending the house to the end of the garage.
Okay.
Is there anything I should watch out for that?
Actually, the 2 spaces in the garage
Are counted.
applied to the parking.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd have to
So
have
you
2
need those.
Eliminate the
spaces.
garage, you'd be eliminating 2 spaces.
Okay,
So you need to find another space.
find 2 spaces.
Yeah.
2 more spaces.
Okay.
So are we going to vote on 30 with the appropriate parking? Or
20 parking spaces?
I think 30
with the current site plan?
Nobody's going to be staying in those parking spaces. They're dropping off.
I understand, it's just a requirement under our zoning code.
Okay.
Based on the number of students, not based on how many cars will be there full-time or anything like that.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be staff recommends that it would be
20 parking spaces.
the 4 conditions that zoning staff is recommending.
I'm at
15 conditions from the Lucas County Planning Commission.
Plus,
Plus the
2 that I proposed earlier.
which is the fence.
The fence and the additional 3 spots for the 30 students, because that's the number he gave in the
Okay.
staff report.
Just want to be clear.
Yeah, I'm with you. Is that what you got, Jason?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the point is you wouldn't have to come back,
Oh, I would not.
because if this gets approved, the issue, we would say you have up to 30 students, but you have to have the appropriate parking.
Okay,
So a site plan would have to be submitted?
with the
It's a
change.
non-conforming building, and also as well as the conditional use. So, if she were to take out the garage and want to put an addition up, it would have to come back.
Oh, that would.
Yes.
That's actually one of the conditions.
Yeah.
The reason I want to do that is because severe weather, we don't have any place to go. You know, that would make for a basement,
True.
you know, for the safety.
Any other questions for the applicant?
Have you heard anything from the neighbors about this?
Nothing. Well, Jim Shakowski's on one side of me. Oh, Jim Shakowski's on one side of me. The lady that lived across the street just sold her property and the business across the street. And then the other side, 2 guys are living there. Do you own that?
I'm in Carytown.
Oh, okay. And Carytown's behind me.
So Darrell, both sides were notified, right? Correct?
Yes.
I've talked to both sides too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anybody else that'd like to speak on that? Could just state your name, address, and for the record, and then sign in.
I'm Janet Gardner. My address is 6824 Melrose Lane, and I'm the president of the Carytown Condominium Association. I just have a couple points. There's already a daycare on Central Avenue, almost at the corner of McCord, and there's a daycare on McCord and Dorr. And I can't understand why we need another daycare. It's in less than a mile. It seems to me that's a little overload for the neighborhood. I back up to the daycare off of Central Avenue, my home does. And once that daycare was put in, it totally ruins my outside living. I have a deck, a patio, and a screened-in porch that those children are outside in nice weather from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. I have nothing against children. However, when you have a group like that, and then you have staff yelling at the children are playing, screaming, crying for 12 hours a day, it's annoying. You can't even open your windows in the summertime and enjoy your neighborhood. And I also have a concern on McCord Road. It narrows down to 2 lanes right there at this place. You cross the street, we're building, what is it? I don't know, condos, apartments, whatever. There's a whole new development going in directly across the street from her house.
That's okay, let's,
Yeah, whatever.
we need it for the record, so you have to speak in the microphone.
And now we're going to add a daycare, and there's the fire department, there's pro-medical cardiology, there's the other medical building. Seems to me how much traffic can go on McCord Road without making that a safety problem. And the neighborhood, Carytown's a beautiful neighborhood. I think imposing a daycare on the people that back up to that is wrong. I mean, I have to put up with it, but do we need another daycare in this area, is my comment.
So is your property right behind that?
My property is behind the daycare that's already on Central and McCord. I'm on Melrose.
Okay.
Central and McCord on the same side of the street as me.
Please,
It's on
you'll have to address afterwards, otherwise.
It's on Central Avenue, where Jimmy John's is and Cafe Marie. There's a strip mall in there, and there is a daycare in there. And it backs up to Carytown. And then there's one right down the street here on McCord and Door. So now we're going to put in the third one in the middle.
So you also mentioned that you were part of your homeowners association. Are you here on behalf of them, or are you here on behalf of you personally?
I'm on behalf of the homeowners association.
Did they take a vote on this? Was there any kind of stated meeting or anything?
An email was sent out to all the owners
Okay.
to notify them about the meeting and what was going on.
Any other questions?
I guess in summary, I can say it's overkill for daycares in the neighborhood.
Would you like to answer any of the questions? You'll have to come back up, I'm sorry.
I'm not someone that's intending to impede the area. I see a need for the childcare that I'm opening. There are a lot of people that are single parents that are going through things that need a childcare while they have medical issues. The childcare that I'm in, and I've been in, since I moved back from Germany, I had to go to Germany to live, but since I moved back from Germany, I've been in Savannah Community Services childcare and taking care of children for 9 years. Our children don't scream and yell and holler. They giggle, they play, but it's not like a screaming match or anything like that. So I don't foresee anything, and there's going to be a 6-foot fence between Carytown and my building. There is right now, and I'm putting up another one. So there'll be plenty of space. I don't foresee any issues.
The point is that once it's conditionally approved as a daycare, and let's say that you ceased business and or sold it to another daycare provider and they changed the format of daycare, that's the point. It isn't your specific use as a daycare, it's the use of a daycare.
Right. But obviously, there's a need for that many daycares, so they wouldn't be in existence.
I'm not discrediting that, I'm just saying that's the point that was being made.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to speak on the matter? You guys want to deliberate, or you want to call the, make a motion?
I'm good.
I'm good. I'd like to make a motion to approve the conditional use for a daycare facility within an R3 district for the property located at 2917 McCord Road, parcel number 78-40671, Savannah Township Zoning Resolution, Section 1002, subject to the following 6 conditions. All drives and parking areas shall be paved with a concrete or asphalt per section 2903 of the Sylvania Township zoning resolution. Any future expansion or major alterations to the building or site shall require an amendment to the conditional use and be approved by the BZA. The applicant shall install a 6-foot tall privacy fence along the rear west boundary abutting the residential use. That fence shall be a vinyl fence. The applicant shall install any screening and/or landscaping the BZA dictates to protect the abutting properties from any negative effects of the use and to enhance the aesthetics of the facility, and that there be 20 parking spots for the facility in question. In addition, this will also be subject to the 15 conditions as presented by the Lucas County Planning Commission in their February 26, 2020 meeting.
Second?
So is one of the conditions still the septic?
Yes, but they're fulfilled it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, no problem. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Levine,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Schlechter,
Yes.
Mr. Lamana,
Yes.
Mr. Mercer.
Yeah, yes. Motion carries. Anybody like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, Mr. Mercer,
Yes.
Mr. Lamana,
Yep.
Mr. Schlechter,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Levine.
Yes.